Hey, what's up? My name is Sullivan. I am a senior graduating at Plymouth State University, and I'm going to be talking about a couple different disciplines of climbing today. I'm going to first start talking about rock climbing and sort of the three different disciplines of rock climbing. So we have aid climbing, sport climbing, and trad or traditional climbing. So everyone's relatively familiar with sport climbing. If you're not, just look it up. But basically you're clipping into pre-placed protection on the wall. So if you've ever been to Rumney, if you've ever been to a climbing gym, you'll see climbers leading, so climbing up with a rope and clipping into quick draws that are clipped to hangers or bolts. So a lot of the areas around the country and around the world might not have the development, or it might just be a choice where there's not pre-placed protection. And the challenge is climbing up, free climbing, so using your own body, but also placing your own protection. For the examples that I brought today, I brought two of kind of the most common examples that you'll see in modern day sport climbing. There's a lot of different things, or in modern day trad climbing. There's a lot of different things that you can look at. There's a lot of different kinds of protection, but they can primarily be divided into two categories. So we have active protection. So there's an actual, it's a mechanical device. A downward force is being exerted onto the stem of this spring-loaded camming device, or cam, and an equal outward force is being exerted onto the cam loops. So that doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically what it means is when you fall, the force that you're exerting onto your protection is then being pushed out into the rock surrounding it, holding you onto the wall. We use spring-loaded camming devices in parallel crack systems. But obviously, nature isn't perfect and doesn't always provide parallel crack systems, so we have other forms of protection. The other kind of primary forms of protection that we have are stoppers. So traditionally, they used to be made out of hardware store nuts, but now we have wedge-shaped pieces of aluminum, steel, or brass, depending on what kind of climbing we're doing, that we place into constricting crack systems. So I'm just going to show you, kind of get an idea of how one of these is placed and where I would put it by just coming over to the rock over here. So what we're looking for is a constricting crack system that has downward protection, so it's going into a constriction, and also a little bit of outward protection, because when we fall, we're not falling straight down. Oftentimes we're falling out and down. We're going to match the wedge shape to the shape of the crack. You can slot it. And although this isn't perfect, it's pretty good. Pull it down. So no matter really how much force I put on this, it's not going anywhere. The idea of trad climbing is that you're using a lot of protection. You're placing multiple pieces to provide the security as you go up. You can never really rely on one piece. Obviously, this small piece of steel and aluminum could potentially break. The rock could break. So we're sort of threading up the crack system as we go up. This is kind of the basic idea of trad climbing.